request, Lord, my only aim is that you reign in me again. Lord, reign in me, reign in your power over all my dreams. In my darkest hour, you are the Lord of all I am. So won't you reign in me again, over every thought, over every word. May my life reflect the beauty of my Lord, 'cause you mean more to me than any earthly thing. So won't you reign in me again, Lord, reign in me, reign in your power over all my dreams. In my darkest hour, you are the Lord of all I am. So won't you reign in me again, you are the Lord of all I am. So won't you reign in me again. Yeah. Come, let us sing with joy to the Lord. Let us shout aloud to the rock of our salvation. Let us come before him with thanksgiving and extol him with music and song. For the Lord is a great God, the great King above all gods. In his hands are the depths of the earth, and the mountain peaks belong to him. The sea is his, he made it, and his hands formed the dry land. Come, let us sing with joy to the Lord. Let us shout aloud to the rock of our salvation. Let us come before him with thanksgiving and exalt him with music and song. For the Lord is a great God, the great King above all gods. In his hands are the depths of the earth, and the mountain peaks belong to him. The sea is his, he made it, and his hands formed the dry land. As the deer pants for the water, so my soul longs after you. You alone are my heart's desire, and I long to worship you. You alone are my strength, my strength, my shield, to you. You alone are my heart's desire, and I long to worship you. Sing one more song, and then I will lead in some communion thoughts, and we'll have together. We place you on the highest place, for you are the great high priest. We place you high above all else, and we come to you and worship at your feet. We place you on the highest place, for you are the great high priest. We place you high above all else, and we come to you and said this before, but communion is my favorite time, I think, of our collective worship, our corporate worship. We're very reflective now. We're reminded of the gravity of emotions that we go through, the feelings that we have of this covenant, Jesus calls covenant, that we go through. And I'm glad that we get to do it every week when we're together. Just feel like it's one of those boosts that gets me going again. Again, if you don't have community supplies, there is some at the back table. You can choose this. That will do. We thank you for the time that we get to spend together today and every day, but especially today, to worship together as a family, to gather, to live our faith in a very visible way, to worship in a very visible way to our community, our neighborhood. Sacrifice that you made for us. We are so glad that you did. Pray that as we take this bread, we're reminded of your body was broken for us. We're reminded that we have been set free from our sin and you no longer hold it against us. Help us to be so appreciative of that and help us to spread that kind of love to others with whom we come in contact every day. Our neighbors, friends. Help us always to know how deep your love is for us. It's in Christ's name we pray. Father, again, pray for this cup. Lord, we thank you for this new covenant. As we take the cup, we pray that we're reminded that we've been in contact with our sin. That through your love and through your sacrifice, we are made whole. We are righteous in your sight, and we can come through you. Thank you, Lord, for your love. We'll never know the depth, we'll never know the width. us worship the Father, worship the Father, worship the Father of glory. Let us worship the Father, worship the Father, worship the Father. And we will glorify the Lord, and we will glorify, we will glorify the Lord. Hands to the Father of love, and we will glorify. Praise to the Father, praise to the Father, praise to the Father of glory. Sing your praise to the Father, praise to the Father, praise to the Father. We will glorify the Lord, and we will glorify the Lord, we will glorify the Lord. Alright, let's try that.
All week I charged it. Yeah, awesome. Pause momentarily.
Okay, sorry about that. All right, thanks again for joining us tonight. Thanks for coming out. Kind of a weird weather day. Come close. Elevator lessons series, passages that we turn to when we need a lift is the subtitle there. Passages that we look at when we're down in the dumps or when things aren't going very well. Passages that give us a boost. Passages that give us a little help. And tonight we're going to finish with with what is what is the most well-known passage of Scripture ever. John 3:16. Passage that we all know by heart. What's the one that provides comfort to countless people across countless amounts of time. John 3:16. Into the world's into the darkness. The light has come into the world. But people love the darkness. So light does the light be exposed. But whoever lives by the truth comes into the light, so that they can see plainly that what they have done has been done in the sight of God. And again, John 3:16, the famous verse of God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life. You are in your house, and the door bell rings. You answer the door, and on your doorstep is a group of people that you know, or at least are familiar with, and they say to you, "We're here to take you," and they put a blindfold over your face, and they lead you out the door. In this moment, motive matters, right? There are drastically different ways an incredible surprise for you. You're blindfolded so you can't see what's happening, and something else is about to occur. The opposite side is very bad. If they do not have good intentions for taking you and placing a blindfold across your face, things can go very poorly from this point, right? Motive in this moment. I showed a movie clip of this movie. Go back to it again because it's so and he decides that he wants to learn karate, right? He wants to learn how to defend himself. He wants to learn the ancient art of karate. His apartment complex. Mr. Miyagi begins teaching him some kind of right? Day after day, Daniel shows up to Mr. Miyagi. He does these menial tasks all day long. Mr. Miyagi's not teaching me karate. Mr. Miyagi is using me to get his household chores done, right? And in this moment, you can tell that Daniel and Mr. Miyagi's relationship begins to settle. Daniel starts to think, I'm wasting my time here doing this. And he confronts Mr. Miyagi after weeks of working for him about what exactly is happening in this moment. Now, we have this incredible scene that I showed last time on the screen inside, in which Mr. Miyagi tells him to do those things and shows him that in fact he has been learning karate just in the way of matters a lot, right? Mr. Miyagi reveals to me that he has a teaching relationship first into this karate thing because he realizes that Mr. Miyagi wasn't taking advantage of him. Mr. Miyagi was sanding the floor, painting the fence, waxing the car. Motive is getting my household chores done. That aggravates Daniel. When the motive is really teaching karate, he and Mr. Miyagi's relationship changes for the better drastically, instantaneously. To our actions, and especially the actions of God, motive matters.
if Mr. Miyagi never revealed that these movements were really training. Other motives explain the motives that God actually has for us in that moment. I've come up with 3 that I think can and do influence us at times. There are others, but these are the top 3 that I think of. The first I called despicable me. And this is the idea that we are just so bad that the only way to do something good through us was to sacrifice Jesus on the cross. God thought about all other possibilities, and the only thing that would really cure our terribleness was the perfect sacrifice. Destroyed everything. Because of the depravity that is prevalent in the world. That is one way to interpret the cross. The second idea is the opposite of that, and that's what we're calling the ivory castle. And that is that God is so good that no matter what we did, we could never get there. The only way to bridge the gap is Jesus. This is kind of, I've heard this explained as, to answer the question, did Jesus come to save us from God? Right? God is so holy that we can never do anything there, and so God sent Jesus to bridge the gap. And then the third, I call this the Ebenezer Scrooge, and that is that God is just this penny pinching, there we go, penny pinching light. This massive debt that is owed, and the only way to repay the debt is through Jesus. Those are possible motivations for the cross. But in John chapter 3, John reveals to us the real purpose behind the cross. Again, for God so loved the world. Jesus didn't come to condemn the world, he would say later. The real motivation behind the cross is love for us. So we look at our elevator passage tonight, we look at John 3:16. The first takeaway is that motive matters. Does not exist. It is a man named Nicodemus, we're told, is a learned man of God. Jesus. He says, Rabbi, we know that you are a teacher who has come from God. For the signs you are doing, if God were not with him, right? This is a great statement, right? A guy comes to Jesus and says, we know that you are from God. The only way you could do these things is if you were from God. Fantastic. There's one problem with Nicodemus' confession, and that is the go back and look at the beginning of John chapter 3. The first 2 verses tell us this. Now there was a Pharisee, a man named a member of the Jewish Rabbi, was called from God, for no one could perform the signs you are doing if God were not with him. Now, a lot of people say, Nicodemus comes at night. Why, if we told that Nicodemus comes at night, what does that have to do with the story? My personal opinion, and the most logical, I think, explanation is pretty simple. Nicodemus was not ready to make in the light. Nicodemus was not ready to stand up in front of his peers, in front of the rest of the Jewish ruling council, or in front of the other, and say that thing in front of them. He comes to Jesus at night in the cover of darkness, and he says, "Okay, Jesus, now I get it. Go." Saying that Jesus is Lord in the darkness of my closet. Jesus is Lord. Who is a person? My life on a daily basis is another incredible step in the process. Nicodemus comes to Jesus at night. God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life. And at the end of that passage, whoever lives by this truth comes into life. Lives by that truth. The motive of God sending Jesus by his love for us, that should compel us out of the darkness and into the light. So, for a year, we've been feeling down. Things have been going well. There's a global pandemic, murder happening somewhere in the United States. There is a dust storm from Africa. At this moment, things feel strange and weird, and all this stuff is going on in our lives. So we step into the elevator of John 3:16. Right? We've spent some time there. We sat in the words of John and in this conversation. And as we reflect on John 3:16, our spirits begin to be lifted because of two giant truths that we discover here. The first is that the depth of God's love is unfathomable. For God so loved the world that he sent his one and only Son, Jesus. The motive for Jesus is love, an incredible love that God would do that for us. The second truth that we discover here is that Jesus came to save the world, right? Loves us because of the depth of God's love and because the motive behind that was salvation for the world. Now that we step up on a higher plane than we entered. Now we step up with a purpose. And the purpose that we get from John 3:16 is to be agents of that love. To step off of the elevator and to not only confess that Jesus is Lord, which is a big step, but to confess it in the daylight, which is another step, and then not only to just confess it, but to allow that confession to affect the way that I live daily life. Right? We're really good at living that confession on Sunday mornings, or now Sunday evenings from 7 to 8, right? We're really good at allowing that confession to have an impact in our lives on certain times and places. When that confession really begins to work is when that moves other places. When on a Monday morning or a Tuesday morning at 9:30, I'm living in the confession that Jesus is Lord. That's when we're moving from darkness into light, right? When we really begin to allow Jesus is Lord to affect the way that we live every moment of every day, it's really beginning to work, and we're beginning to step out of that darkness and into that light, right? So again, we allow John 3:16 to influence us, to lift us, to make us feel better. And incredible. But then also we step up with the purpose. And the purpose is to allow that love to change us, and also to bring as many people into that love as we possibly can. This is the conclusion of our elevator series. Let's go back into the world. Let's face it, in a world and a time that desperately needs the good news of John 3:16. The world that needs an elevator passage if there ever was a time. So let us leave this place and go lives transformed and moved by the conviction that Jesus is Lord. We'll pray and we'll sing one more and then we'll be dismissed. God, thank you so much again for this evening. Thank you for the breeze. Thank you for the cloud cover. Thank you for this opportunity just to see the faces of this church family that you bless us with. God, continue to guide us, continue to be with those pandemic. God, please give them comfort and allow us to be comfort in ways that we can't see. Continue to bless this church God, let the confession of John 3:16 change us and move us and impact our daily lives, and may we be agents of that love to everyone that we come in contact with. Thank you so much, Jesus, for the sacrifice. It's in His name we pray. Amen.
I stand to praise you, but I fall on my knees. My spirit is willing, but my flesh is so weak. Like the fire in my soul, and faith make me whole. Lord, you know where I've been, so fire in my heart again. I feel your heart healing. Like a mighty rushing wind, like fire in my soul, and the flame make me whole. Lord, you know where I've been, so light the fire in my heart again. Light the fire in my soul, and the flame make me whole. Lord, you know
One more thing before we go. Izzy and Ava gave us some helpful handouts last week. Their way of contributing to lifting our spirits, and they have a few left this week. So if you didn't get a helpful handout last week and you would like an added lift, they have some for you. Go and find them when we're done here, and it will be sure to lift your spirits, I promise. Thank you all for coming. Great to see everybody again tonight. Oh yes, also impromptu poll. Next Saturday is 4th of July, and so then our Sunday evening would be the 5th, and we were wondering how many people would be here and would be attending if we did this again next Sunday. Looks like almost everybody. Perfect. We'll see you next week.